Hey everybody, welcome to Average Guy Opinions. I'm your average guy, John Corelli. Let's light up a candle. Yeah, the crickets are in full effect tonight. They are loud. So, welcome to Night Vibes. Today was my first day of school. I mentioned it on my last episode, and it was interesting. It always is. It's funny because we started off the day. It was nice. We got two meals. We got breakfast and lunch, and it's funny because we are very hypocritical in the educational world. We get, especially at elementary level, I used to get very upset because you would see parents just feeding their kids outright garbage and then wondering why they couldn't perform. I mean, we had this one kid, severely autistic child, but I think he had a lot of potential. His name was Kane. He was a wire-thin, I think he was from Barbados. He was an island kid, light-skinned black kid. I think he had a good heart, but he didn't want to be in school. He would just run. I mean, we had to just always and would fight you. And I really think, though, if he had the right tools, he could have gone somewhere. But unfortunately, his parents just loaded up. His lunchbox would have nothing. There was nothing that wasn't processed. There was the most healthy thing he had was applesauce in like a packet. You know, the squeeze ones. It wasn't even like a little cup of applesauce, just the ones you squeeze in your mouth. He had like Little Debbie brownies. He had Doritos, fruit juices, which are all sugar. It was outright food garbage, and we wondered. We didn't wonder, but just like, you got to feed this kid better. And the parents would say, well, and as a paraprofessional, I can't say that, but my boss could say, hey, you should really think about maybe feeding this kid better. And they're like, well, this is all he eats. Not if he's not given a choice. A child will eat healthy before he starves. Guarantee it. Even if you got to go kind of semi-healthy, like chicken fingers and like go from fast food and then move on to healthier foods. But so anyway, it took me 2 minutes to get to my point. My point is, we get there, and knowing this, that our kids, even at the high school level, have issues with eating healthy. There's like a bag of apples, a bunch of bananas, and then donuts as far as the eye can see. And luckily, the apples and bananas were first. So I grabbed an apple and banana, passed on the donuts, passed on the coffee, used some milk for the coffee, had a cup of milk, and that was my breakfast. I was like, that's perfectly healthy breakfast. And then it's kind of sad because I felt bad, kind of. I was near the front of the line, so I'm imagining a lot of those apples and bananas were taken pretty quickly. In fact, I know they were. Because there were only a few people in front of me, and I got like the second to last of each. And I'm just like, I felt the same way I did about that kid. It's like, if you don't give us a choice, we will eat healthy. Maybe have some granola bars out, but Jesus, I mean, it was just boxes, dozens of boxes of donuts for a couple hundred people. Staff and teachers and everybody, and the middle school was there too. So it was a lot of people, and it was just crazy to me. But so we got through that. We got our staff pictures taken, and then the principal gave a very moving introduction to herself. She took over in the middle of last year, as I think I've mentioned in a past video that our principal died. She was not old either. She was in her 40s. Pretty heavy lady, but we don't know how she died. Everyone's quiet about such things anymore, and frankly, it's none of my business how she died, but she's died very suddenly, and it really affected the school. And this principal was actually really good, or our current principal, who was assistant principal back then, was very good friends with her, and she just gave very moving, she talked about being vulnerable, and that can be a benefit to our kids when we teach them. And so I was really, I liked a lot what she had to say. She did something pretty cool too at the end of her. She was up there about an hour, I think, on stage talking about her life and just what she wants for the future of our school. Because our school's hurting. We have the worst grades in the district, and obviously that's not good. So we're talking about ways we can change the culture of the school and change the mindset of the students. And she talked about being vulnerable. Oh, there go the lights. How come it seems like every time I say something weird, like vulnerable, or I can't remember, a couple times that the lights have gone out, the timing's been very, I don't know, unusual. We'll just put it that way. fortuitous. I don't know. I'm just thinking of words popping into my head and I'm saying them. That's not a good way to go. But so she had us do a cool thing though. At the end, she gave us each two index cards and said, write down what you want to get rid of, like something you're holding on to, a negative thing you're holding on to, and you need to get rid of it, and then something you want to keep forever. And so for my keep, it was like my connection with my children. And my let go was my anger with my father. And it was really cool. So she said, okay, well, bring your let go cards up here, and I have a shredder. And she had a shredder. It had little like paper flames on it, so we're going to put it in the fire. And she was up there, and she gave some of us a hug if we wanted it after we did that. And I don't know if I'm not going to remain angry at my father, but it was a cool exercise, and I like that. That's a type of growth mindset we have going into this year. So once again, as usual, I think just like life, we have good, bad, and ugly. So some beautiful things happen with her. Bad things happen nutritionally at breakfast. We had barbecue for lunch. That wasn't too bad. Barbecue, you kind of get a little bit of everything, bad, good, bad, and ugly there too. But here's where things get ugly, and this is where this is the detriment to females, to the female gender. And trust me, ladies, when I say this, you're still by far the superior gender. I really mean that too. I'm not trying to kiss ass, because I know most of my watchers are female, but I am really saying that, and I mean it with all my heart, that you guys have the babies, you guys generally raise the babies, men, we do some great stuff, but we do some awful stuff too, and it's hard. I don't know if the awful outweighs the good, but I don't know. You're just a more nurturing, caring gender. Having said that, we didn't have a lot to do today. Like I said, we did our pictures, our staff pictures. We went to the meeting with the principal. We had lunch and breakfast, and then in the afternoon we had literally nothing to do. And so we went to a room. All the paraprofessionals in my department. There were like 8 of us in there. And this one woman that took a break last year, she took last year off, and now she's back. She brought her baby, and it was a lot of fun. I got to play with the baby a little bit, and we just hung out. But then, like women often do, more like 10 people in there. 7 women and 3 men. It got into trashing the woman who's not there. And another woman had a baby, and she's taking more time off because she just had the baby in July. And so she's going to take, I think, the rest of the calendar year off and hopefully come back for second semester in January. And they just started trashing her. And it was really disappointing because I've seen the beauty of women, but that is the ugly thing I've seen in women. I used to work in daycare back in like 1994. And they do it too. They do it there too. I was like, why do you need to talk about this woman when she's not here? I know guys sometimes talk shit about each other, but it's really brief. I mean, they went into detail today. It's just like, dear God, it sounds like you really hate this person. The 2 or 3 of you that really started this conversation. And there were a couple of new women there that started in the middle of last year, and they were like, gosh, we didn't think you liked us. This core group, and I had told both of these 2 women, like I took them to the side towards the end of last year because I had been there the whole year, and I said generally it takes a lot of teams, anywhere from half to the full school year, to accept you. I said it took them about 6 months to accept me as part of their team, and I said you guys are new. And you start in January, so by the end of the school year, they'll just be starting to accept you. And if you come back in August, they'll have accepted you most likely. And I'm not like some sage, but I've seen it happen. I saw it happen at the elementary level. I saw it happen with myself, and so I did tell these women that. And the both of them, when they were in this group discussion, were like, "We thought you hated us," and they're like, "No, no, no." They assured them they didn't, and I had never seen any hatred towards them or heard any bad stuff. But you know how people are. This is like. I mean, there's this one woman named Vanessa, and I think I've mentioned her in the past, and she's a very nice looking lady, way too young for me, just a cool person though. And I was like, you can tell, sometimes it's the pretty ones who, the other ones will start gathering together and saying nasty stuff, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the pretty one that gets it like that. It's just an ugly thing when that one person kind of gets ostracized and talked about. That happened today. The lights came back on, And with that, I end another episode. But just be nice to each other, ladies, because you're better than that. And much love. I don't know what else to say. But I'm glad I'm back in school and looking forward to tomorrow. All right, you guys, and hopefully I'll come up with something better to talk about. You guys have a great day, great night, whatever you're having. Talk to you soon. Bye.